today I have something a little bit different. It may not be close to Halloween, but why not have some glittery, whimsical fairy fun? So to begin, I'm going to tackle my eyes. Since I'm going to be using a black eyeshadow, it's always a good idea to do that before foundation because fallout is so much easier to clean off of a bare face. So first I'm using a shadow primer to keep everything on my oily lids. And then I'm setting the upper portion of my lid with a shadow that matches my skin tone. Then I'm lightly dusting a neutral brown in my crease with a fluffy brush. So once I've got enough of that neutral brown in my crease, and I just need a little bit because I'll be going in with another crease color afterwards, I am taking a creamy pencil. This is a black eyeliner, and I'm scribbling it all over my mobile lid. That's why I didn't set that part of my lid with primer. And then I'm going to be taking a firmly bristled blending brush and I'm blending the liner so the edges are softened. And I will be going in and using that neutral brown crease shade a lot to help blend out those edges, and I'm trying not to take it up too far. And I will be going in, like I said, with another crease shadow. I just laid the neutral brown down first so that I had a good idea for placement, and because the brown would have really helped me blend out the black. So then I'm packing on some black eyeshadow on top of that liner, and then I am going in with the star of the show, and that is a lavender eyeshadow that has a pearl finish. Not something you would normally put on in your crease, but it's a lot of fun to do something different. And then I'm going to be putting more of that black shadow on my lid and going back and forth between that lavender crease shade and the black eyeshadow so that I get pigmentation that I need. Then with a clean brush, just sort of cleaning around the edges, and then a makeup wipe to clean up that fallout. All right, on to face. I'm taking a face primer. Before I do the lower part of my lid and other eye stuff, I'm gonna do some face stuff. So I have a hydrating face primer on, and of course on my neck as well, because I will be dragging my foundation down. And then, because this fairy doesn't want any dark circles, I'm using a peachy pink color corrector underneath my eyes. And I'm also going to be using a green concealer to conceal some redness. The most noticeable redness I have is on my forehead, and it's psoriasis, and it's really hard to cover because it's so many different textures. And then I use a little bit of green concealer on a few other spots on my face, just because I want to try and get as flawless of a base as possible. So then I am going to be mixing a foundation cocktail. I'm using a luminous foundation and a white foundation mixer. It's 3 pumps of a luminous foundation and 1 pump of a white foundation because I wanted a lot of foundation. And then I'm just blending that in with a large buffing brush just to cover as much as possible. And it might seem like it's a little bit light, but once I blend everything in, it's going to be a perfect match for my skin tone. So the white foundation mixer is fantastic. Then I needed a little bit more brightness underneath my eyes, so I'm using a luminous concealer and a sponge. Good old classic, pretty easy. I wanted to take a little bit more concealer on that psoriasis on my forehead just to try and help it a little bit. It's really hard to cover, but I wanted to try layering a little bit of concealer and seeing if that would help. And then to set, I'm actually using a luminous face powder. It's something you could use as a highlight. It's not very intense. As a highlight, it's not very pigmented, so for me, I like to use it to set when I do a luminous base. Then I'm combing out my brows. They are crazy. So I'm going in with a lilac cream eyeliner because I wanted to do something purple, but it didn't turn out as purple as it looked to be in the container. Like, it looked to match my nails, kind of lavender, and on my brows, it was really just barely purple. So I kept layering on the purple, thinking that maybe I would stick with it, but then I decided no, I was gonna do more. So what I did was take some mint on the inner portion and some hot pink on the outer, and then just blended it with the spoolie on the other side of the angled brush. Kind of unicorny, kind of fairy. I like it. and then a white eyeliner on my waterline, of course, and on the lower lash line, a little bit of that black pencil that I had used on my lid. And then instead of using a black eyeshadow though, I'm just going straight in with that same lavender crease shade that I had used, just on a pencil brush on the lower lash line, and then a little bit of the neutral brown on a fluffy crease brush to blend it out. Then I'm taking a blue violet duochrome shadow to highlight my brow bone and my inner corner. It really wasn't showing up very pigmented, and I'm not sure why, because usually that shadow is very pigmented, so I tried to build it up as much as possible. And then I'm using an iridescent glitter liner. Gotta have my glitter, gotta start somewhere. So then on a fluffy angled brush, I'm taking a purple and a pink blush mixed together, and instead of placing it where I would normally place a blush, I'm kind of contouring with it. I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do on this part of my face, so I just added some blush where I would contour, and then I went in with some of more of that lavender shade, the same one I used on my eyes, in the hollows of my cheeks, and blended it all out with a clean brush. Then I wanted to do a black lip because black is a great base. So I'm taking a black lip liner. I was thinking about doing a different lip shape, and then I decided not to. So on top of the black lip liner, I put a liquid lipstick. And before the liquid lipstick had a chance to dry, I'm layering some eyeshadow on top. And you guessed it, it's that same purple shadow again, as well as the shadow I had used to highlight the inner corner and brow bone. Whatever you use on your lips, make sure it is lip safe. Very important. All right, so more glitter. I actually mixed a glow-in-the-dark body paint, and it really didn't glow in the dark, so that's unfortunate. But I mixed it with a largely cut cosmetic grade holographic glitter. Because I was going to be pretty close to my eyes, I wanted to make sure the glitter I mixed in with it was cosmetic grade and not craft glitter, because you really do not want to risk getting those large craft glitter chunks in your eye. Seriously, I've seen and heard some pretty nasty horror stories. So I'm just using a small foundation brush to brush the body paint on. And then once it has dried a little bit, I'm using my finger so it's not so helmety. And then the fun stuff. So the robe's gone, and now I am gluing on some crafty flowers using a skin-friendly adhesive. And these fun little flowers I found at a craft store. I just really wanted to do something whimsical. So I'm brushing on a little bit of that adhesive. There's a little bit on the back of the flower as well. And then I'm just holding it in place and just making sure it stayed. I had a bit of a struggle getting everything to stay, but once I got it to stay, it was there. And then I dripped some of that adhesive on and packed on some craft glitter. This was fun and messy, but so much fun. And then my camera cut off, so I ended up putting on some mascara and some more glitter on my shoulders. And now I'm using these gigantic feathery lashes. Aren't they beautiful? So the one lash is good on its own. Then there's the two lashes. They're fantastic. And sprinkling on some body glitter, some purple and silver body glitter, and then some setting spray, because that's kind of necessary. Then I decided I wanted a little bit more on the lips. So taking the glittery liner that I'd used on my lower lash line, I am putting a little bit of that on my lips. And there we are. Pretty simple, pretty basic, kind of your everyday look. Bam, wings. All right. I had way too much fun with this. It was ridiculously fun putting on the flower crown and the glitter and the wings, and I just loved it. This is just who I am. I wish it was acceptable to walk around like this on a day-to-day basis, because I would be wings and lashes and flowers and all. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope I see you in the next one. Mwah!